Good morning, everyone. Let us start. Remember, we have been learning about rural settlements in the world. In the previous class, we have learned about factors affecting rural settlements, and today we shall discuss about rural settlement patterns. Now I will present rural settlement patterns. What do you mean by this term settlement pattern? See, settlement pattern here means the shape of a settlement. You know, any settlement takes a geometrical shape or near geometrical shape, and that shape is known as pattern. That shape is known as settlement patterns. Now let us read. Patterns of rural settlements reflect the way the houses are sited in relation to each other. That means the shape of the rural settlement reflects the way the houses are sited, the houses are located in relation to each other. The site of the village, the surrounding topography and terrain influence the shape and the size of a village. So it means that the settlement pattern are dependent on the surrounding topography, the landscape. Okay, say the shape of the settlement depends on the topography, that is a landscape, a terrain. That is the point mentioned here. That means there is a very close relation between the settlement type and patterns with the physical environment. Okay, so here we have a classification of rural settlements. Here, rural settlements may be classified on the basis of number of criteria. Here, rural settlements may be classified on the basis of number of these basis criteria. So the first one criterion is here, on the basis of setting. You know what is the meaning of this setting? So setting is the state of environment, okay, in which a settlement exists. So setting is the state of environment in which a settlement exists. So on the basis of setting, the main types of settlements are plain villages, plateau villages. See here, plain villages, that means a village located on the plain. Then plateau villages located on plateau. Then coastal villages, forest villages, and desert villages, and so on. Okay, so these are the different types of settlements, rural settlements on the basis of setting. Next, we have on the basis of function. See, there may be on the basis of functions, there may be these farming village. That means the village engaging in farming activity. Okay, on the basis of function here means on the basis of the type of occupation. So we have farming village, then fisherman's village. Here the main occupation is this fishing. Then lumberjack village, then pastoral villages, etc. So who is a lumberjack? Do you know who is a lumberjack? Anybody? Who is a lumberjack? See, lumberjack, okay, is a person who fells trees. Okay, lumberjack is a person who cuts trees. Okay, so their main activity is this felling of trees and selling of those trees. And villages engaging in those activities known as lumberjack village. Then pastoral village, that is livestock rearing is done. Okay, pasture, you know, these grasslands. So grasslands are related with these livestock rearings. So these are the different types of settlement on basis of functions. Next we have these types of settlements on the basis of forms or shapes of settlement. This on the basis of these geometrical shapes. Okay, we have different types of settlements. See here, there may be a number of geometrical forms in a shape such as linear, rectangular, circular, star-like, T-shaped village, double village, cross-shaped village, etc., etc. Okay, on the basis of geometrical shapes, we have different types of settlements. So the first pattern or the type, okay, is the linear pattern. So in such settlements, houses are located along a road, railway line, river, canal edge of a valley, or along a levee. Okay, so in case of linear pattern, see, let us say this is a river. Okay, this is a river, and here the houses are built just along the bank of the river like this. So let us suppose these boxes are the houses, and along this river the houses are built. So this is an example of this linear settlement. Linear. So in this way, houses may be constructed along this railway line, or along a highway, or along this canal, okay, or along a levee. You know, levee means embankment along a river. Okay, and next we have this rectangular pattern. Such patterns of rail settlements are found in plain areas. Somebody is coming. These rectangular patterns of rail settlements are found in plain areas, okay, or wide inner mountain valleys. Mountain here means mountain valleys. Okay, wide inner mountain valleys. And so in this case, the rods are rectangular and cut each other at right angles. So in case of rectangular pattern, see, this is a rod. Okay, so this is a rod. Then here in this case, the rods are cut at right angle to each other. So in this way, so here, then another rod is here. Okay, so here also there may be another rod. Okay, and here also. So in this way, the rods are are met together at right angle, and here these houses are constructed. Okay, buildings or houses are constructed here, thus taking the shape of a rectangle. Okay, so this is known as rectangular pattern. Okay, rectangular pattern. So these rectangular patterns are mostly found in the plain areas or in the valleys. Okay, and so rods are cut each other at right angles. And here we have some diagrams, okay, depicting the different types of these settlement patterns. Okay, linear is there, cross shape, star pattern, T shape, circular, double pattern. So let us read. So the third important type of settlement pattern is circular. So in this circular pattern, the circular villages develop around lakes, tanks, and sometimes the village is planned in such a way that the central part remains open and used for keeping the animals to protect them from wild animals. So in the circular pattern, so in the center there may be a lake or this tank. Okay, so let us say in circular pattern, so there may be a lake or maybe a village thing. Okay, let us say this is a lake, and so this is a lake, and around this lake the houses are this, okay, built around this lake, thus forming this circular pattern. So instead of lake there may be a big village, this pond or tank, or here, okay, this in the center there may be a pasture also, and so in that area the villagers may keep their animals as mentioned here. Okay, the central part remains open and is used for keeping the animals to protect them from the wild animals here. So instead of lake there may be this open field, and here there may be grasslands also, and here animals are kept so that animals are protected from the wild animals. This is about the circular pattern. Okay, this is about circular pattern, and in the diagram also it is there. Okay, here circular pattern. And next we have the star-like pattern, where several rods converge. Star-shaped settlement developed by the houses built along the roads. Okay, so here let us see the diagram. See, star-like pattern. See, so in this case, the rods are converged from different directions, as you see here, and the houses are built along these rods. So these are the rods and converging at a particular point, and along the rod houses are these constructed or built. So this is what I call star-like pattern. Next we have T-shape, Y-shape, cross-shape, or cruciform settlements. Here T-shape settlement develops at the tri-junction, okay, tri-junction of rods, while Y-shape settlement emerge as the place emerge as the places where two roads converge on the third one, and houses are built along these roads. Very simple. Okay, see here, in case of this T-shape, suppose this is a highway, okay, and from the highway there may be a village road, okay, maybe connecting to a village, and here these houses are built along this highway, and as well as this along this village road also, okay, and thus taking the shape of a T. And likewise in the case of Y shape, okay, say here, I think you are seeing a diagram here. This is an example of this Y shape. See here, so here this is a one-man rod, and another rod is meeting, okay, thus taking the shape of Y, and I think you are seeing houses along these rods. So this is an example of Y shape. And for the cruciform, okay, cross shape, settlement develop on the crossroad and houses extend in all four directions. So here this is the T-shape, and in case of this cruciform, here it is like this, and in this case the houses are constructed in all the four directions. Okay, so here here houses are here, and it is also here, and here it is also constructed along this road. So in all the four directions houses are extended, okay, expanded. So this is for the cruciform cross shape. And the last type or pattern is a double village. These settlements extend on both sides of a river where there is a bridge or a ferry. Okay, settlements extend on both sides of a river where there is a bridge or ferry. Let us see the previous example. See, linear. So this is the case of linear. However, if houses are constructed or built on both sides of the bank like this, okay, here, and this is called double village. If houses are built only along a bank, that is not a linear. If houses are built on both sides of the river bank, we call it double village. Okay, are you clear? Do you have a question regarding these types of real settlement? Any question regarding okay, so let us proceed if you are clear. Next, we have another important topic, that is problems of real settlements. Okay, this area is very important for the exams also, frequently asked in board exams. So now let us find out some important problems related with the urban settlements in the world. We have to remember, okay, at least 5 important points from here. So here the first important problem is given here. The supply of water to rural settlements in developing countries is not adequate. Okay, the first important problem of rural settlements in the world is that supply of water to rural settlements in developing countries is not adequate. And what is going on in these countries is that, okay, people in the mountainous and arid areas, that is in the desert areas, have to work long distances to fetch drinking water, because the supply of this water, okay, potable water, is not adequate in these developing countries, and that is why people have to work long distances to fetch drinking water, okay, especially in the mountainous and in the desert areas. So this is the first important problem. And next we have this another important problem, okay, here. Waterborne diseases such as cholera and jaundice tend to be a common problem. So in the rural settlements, waterborne diseases, for example cholera, then jaundice, okay, tend to be a common problem, frequently occurring. And another important problem is here, the countries of South Asia, they face conditions of drought and flood very often. So especially here in India also, then in Bangladesh, then other South Asian countries, okay, These sometimes drought and sometimes flood very often, because we are experiencing this monsoon type of climate. So this is one of the most common phenomenon, or you can say characteristics of this monsoon. Okay, sometimes due to heavy rainfall there will be flood, and sometimes due to less amount rainfall there will be drought in some particular areas. So in the countries of South Asia, these drought and floods are very common, okay, very often. And these crop cultivation sequences in the absence of irrigation also suffer. So in India, then in Bangladesh and other Asian countries, irrigation facility is not adequate, okay, and so that is why their growing of crop is also suffered in the absence of this irrigation, okay, because the monsoon is uncertain, that you have known, and irrigation, okay, is also not adequate, and that is why the crop cultivation sequence is not good, okay, we cannot grow as we want. That is the point mentioned here. And another important problem is given here: the general absence of toilets and garbage disposal facilities cause health related problems. So in most of the villages, okay, in most of the rural settlement areas, there is absence of good toilet, okay, and these garbage disposal facilities, they are not disposing garbages in the proper places, and that causes pollution of the land, soil, water, and it also sometimes causes pollution of the air also, and this will cause health related problems. So this is another important problems of rural settlement. And next we have another important problem. See, the houses made up of mud, wood and thatch remain susceptible to damage during heavy rains and flood. So most of the houses are built using mud, wood or thatch, okay, grass, and so because of this, say the houses are susceptible to damage when there is heavy rainfall and when there is flood, okay, can be destroyed. The houses can be destroyed very easily by the rainwater and flood water. And another point, see, most house designs are typically deficient in proper ventilation. See, sometimes there may not be windows in the house also, in the house of a poor family, okay, so in the front there may be a door and no other ventilators or no windows sometimes. So that means that there is deficient, okay, in proper ventilation. And say houses, most of the rural houses include this animal shade, and which is not hygienic, okay, when these houses are combined with animal shade, okay, say in that case it is not hygienic, diseases may be spread, okay, and that is the point. And another important problem is here: unmetalled roads and lack of modern communication network creates a unique problem. During rainy season, the settlements remain cut off and pose serious difficulties in providing emergency services. So one of the most important problems of rural settlement is that this lack of modern transport and communication facilities. Okay, so most of the roads, as you know, in the villages are unmetalled. Okay, that means fair weather roads can be used when the weather is good, and when there is a heavy rainfall cannot be used. Okay, and because of this, during rainy season the settlements remain cut off. Since the roads are unmetalled, okay, it becomes inaccessible at the time of this rainy season, and pose serious difficulties in providing emergency services. In the village there may be landslide, there may be flood. Okay, in that case, if the road is a fair weather road, then it becomes a problem, okay, for the supply of these emergency, for the provision of these emergency services. And one more point we can add is that there is lack of these adequate health and educational infrastructure facilities in the rural areas, okay, in the developing countries of the world. There may not be good hospitals, or there may not be good educational institutions, okay, in the rural settlements in the different countries of the world. So these are the different problems of these rural settlements in the world. Any question regarding these problems of rural settlements in the world? You have to memorize at least 5 points of these rural settlements in the world. Okay, so if you don't have a problem or this difficulty, then up to here for today. Okay, so as usual, please leave your name in the WhatsApp group for attendance. Thank you for joining my class. Thank you all.